What is going on, everybody, and welcome back into Valak Studio. So we're not in the indoor studio, we're actually out here in the art shed studio that I've been working on a little bit at a time, off and on over the last month or so. Now in this video, if you clicked this video, we were going to be applying some varnish to the painting that I had previously done of Valak. I have to admit, I was rooting for the nun the whole time, so go Valak. Now, I know that I've heard people say that if you shake it up really well, it applies some bubbles in there, depending on what you're adding this to and the thickness. Obviously, when you use a sponge or you use a brush, you're probably going to take a lot of those bubbles out of it. However, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and just try it out and see how it goes. And just like that, there's the first layer there. I'm not a master at this, but I definitely think that it's going to be pretty good. We'll see how it turns out. Alright everybody, so I'm just going to hop in here in the middle of the video, and this is after the first layer. I will say that because this is the first time I've ever really varnished a painting at all, it's the first time I've done any of the processes, whether that be with a brush or with a sponge, and the sponge technique is what I'm using here. Because it's so hot out here, the varnish was setting up so quickly that when I was trying to smooth some of the thicker kind of like layers out as I was moving the varnish around to get a smooth surface, it was kind of setting up on me, and there's a little bit of water in the sponge, and that was creating like a cloudy effect, or kind of like a shell look, where the sponge was trying to pull up particular portions of that layer, and it was creating kind of like a layered plastic kind of like glazed effect, kind of like a glazed donut when you pick it up and you squeeze it, and it creates those little cracks in that glazed sugar. That's the kind of effect it was giving, and I kept working with it with the sponge, and it was just, I felt like I was chasing a rabbit through the woods, and it's always faster than me. So I went ahead and stepped back. I did some research, and a few videos here on YouTube also state that you just got to be patient, wait for it to dry. And then once that water evaporates from the water-based varnish, then what it will do is it will clear up. And indeed, it has cleared up. There are a few raised spots here, so I'm just being very careful, making sure that I don't leave any of those in the next layer. But otherwise, it's ready for me to go ahead and sink back down onto my little washcloths here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the next layer on Valak the Nun. So I just wanted to also just kind of create this as like a little helpful tips and tricks, just to show, look, man, it's okay to make mistakes, but just be patient. And a lot of times those mistakes will work out through the process on their own.